What is up, everybody? I hope all is well. This is back with That Square Sports Podcast, or Outside the Quad, however you find it. We have the Bengals today. And if you know anything about me, two things I can't stand is a prime wide receiver and a prime QB who will not get a Super Bowl ring because everything around them is just as bad. I wish I had some intro music. I'll play that, but I don't have no intro music because I get copyrighted for everything on YouTube. But there's no here nor there. Let's dive straight on in. All right, first things first. The Bengals, on the other hand, they are a really, really well-scripted team. They're good skill position-wise and QB-wise. The problem is that dang defense, that dang offensive line, Jesus Christ, is horrible. Horrible. I thought maybe when I was watching the preseason game this weekend that maybe, just maybe, because they got the same returning offensive linemen, it should be a little bit better, maybe a little bit gel, smooth. That left tackle position, Jesus. Boy, that left tackle position is bad for the Bengals. Now, this is where I kind of have some saving grace for the Bengals. It can only get better from here. Right? With that being said, where here is at right now is not good. But they have the same coach. They have pretty much, like I said, the consistency at offensive line with the same people on the O-line. And they also have, to me, I think, two arguably top 15, depending on how you look at it, top 15 receivers. Jamar Chase probably is number one. Number two, however you want to argue it. T. Higgins is just as good, to be honest with you. Chase Brown, I'm not in love with him at running back, but I'm not gonna be no clown and say that he ain't no scrub either. He can get down when you get down with him. You know what I mean? Their defense, respectfully, I wouldn't have gave a first round pick for Dexter Lawrence. That's just me, respectfully. But I wouldn't let Trey Hendricks walk either, too, respectfully. Their defense is just, like, it's very, very, very ugly. Their second level, not as bad. So, like, their secondary, they're not horrible. That front seven, man, they give you time, boy. You can cook a brisket the way they got pressure on those most QBs, man, back in the day. It's just bad. But it's favored, like I said. There's a silver lining for the Bengals because I said, like, they have what you call, returning pieces that are there. Steelers, they don't know what they're doing at quarterback, and they got a new coach. Ravens, same thing. They got a new coach. Are they making Lamar Jackson throw the ball more, run it, however, so on and so forth? And then, of course, last but not least, Cleveland. They don't even know what they're doing. I just made a video about Cleveland. Please go check it out. But they don't even know who they want to be at quarterback. So are we really, you know what I'm saying? Are we really in love with the whole NFC North division right now? The Bengals should have this handed to them. But it's the Bengals. And they start slow every September and October. They start slow every September and October. I cannot stress how slow they start. Then they just catch wildfire. Then out of nowhere, Joe Burrow's the one taking 500 yards per game. But they're already not making the playoffs. The real question is, what you came for, right? Let's really have this discussion. Is it the defense or is it Joe Burrow? And I want to be in depth about this. I really do. Because I'm going to get to the predictions here in a second when I look at the full schedule. Defensively, how can I say this? Drew Brees with the Saints, this is way back in the gap. The 2011, 2010, so on and so forth, like 2010s. He knew not to put his defense out there. Same thing with Tom Brady. He knew not to put his defense out there. Like a lot of guys, QBs that are really good, they know when their defense is not as good, what do? They don't put their team out there because they know they're going to lose the game. Joe Burrow has to understand they're not going to have to throw for 5,000 yards. It's cool for 225, 250, possibly 300 if you're in a shootout. You could still win games that way. And I know that's hard for Joe Burrow when you have people like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. This is where I have to say I was hesitant to say the Joe Burrow versus the defense, but It's Joe Burrow and what he has caused on the offensive side of the ball. He's got players tied up with cap on the money, paid everybody. That old line don't look that good, Joe. You gotta be there and be healthy. So you need your 5 to protect you. Now, in addition to all of that, the defense ain't done no better as well. So it's just one of those things where I can see where people say Joe Burrow is overrated. I can see where people say, hey, it's because of his situation. I get both sides of the argument. I understand it very well. The thing is, with this team, it's really going to come down to two things. Like I said, Joe Burrow and the defense. That's what it's going to come down to 100%. I hate that I have to put pressure on Joe Burrow to be great. Even greater than great is what he is right now. But he's got to stay healthy. And two, he's got to make sure that, check downs, flats to the tight end, running backs, they are about to be prime possession players on this offense because the O-line looks like it can't hold up. Now, mind you, this is a preseason game. And, I thought, man, you know what? A lot of these guys, they just trying to make the team. But then I also said to myself, the Lions ain't starting their starters. These are their third string and practice guys. The guys you pick up at the Denny's and the Chili's that said, I still got some football left in me. And they get into the quarterback against the good offensive line. All right, then, player. It's a little bit different now. We moving a little different, cuzzo. That being said, let's dive into the schedule. That being said, like I said again, all right. They start off against Tampa Bay. That is a loss. Texans, of course, if you're on this channel, you should know I am a diehard Texans fan. We're going to go undefeated. So that's 0-2. They're going to beat the Steelers. I can see that happening. So now they're 1-2. I would not be surprised if they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are playing at home. I can see them beating the Jaguars. So the first few weeks, they're starting off 2-2, 500. They should beat the Dolphins. They will probably lose to the Ravens. They're now 3-3. It's kind of one of those, it looks like it's going to be a 500 season. But then the schedule gets very favorable for them. After that Ravens game where they're 3-3, I could see them going on a 3, possibly 4-game win streak. Titans, they win. Falcons, they win. Bengals against the Steelers, they actually win. They split the series with them, and they could beat the Commanders. Reason why I think they'll beat the Titans, obviously, we don't really know if the Titans are going to get better or good. They might take a step, but it might be, let's just say, after, week 7 to 8. But by the time they find their stride, they're looking for the lottery pick. They're probably going to give up on certain pieces. They need a lot more, the Titans. Secondly, on top of that, the Falcons, who the hell their quarterback is. I can't wait to do their video. I might even go over 10 to 7 minutes on that because that is Jesus. Anyways, Steelers, they split, obviously, just because they're division rivals. I always find that fun to watch. Commanders, really depends on who Jaden Daniels is. Really depends on who Jaden Daniels is. That's really what it is with that. So with that being said, I can see a 4-game win streak easily with the other 3 wins on top of that. So we're looking at, that looks like that's 7 wins right there so far. Saints, they lose that game. Browns, they should beat the Browns. They should beat them. Chiefs, they lose that game. Panthers, they beat them. This schedule is very favorable. Colts, they lose to them. Ravens, they lose to them. Browns, they sweep them. So it looks like they should win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10-7 for the Bengals. Very favorable schedule, very winnable. I know you're probably saying to yourself, dude, nah, bro, with that offensive line. Honestly, I think Joe Burrow pulls out a couple of magic moments in this team. I could go back on the Colts game, and I could go back on the Saints game. So possibly, like I said, ceiling 10-7. What I see on the eye test right now, 10-7. They're ceiling 11-8, 11-6. Do they get to the playoffs? I think they actually win the AFC North due to the fact of just everyone is still in the same place that they were before. So that's really the main reason why, consistency. Outside of that, they just got to fix that offensive line, dog. They got to fix that O-line. Whew, and that defensive line. I could see them next year drafting a couple of edge rushers because the owner's dirt cheap. It is what it is. But you guys let me know in the comments. As always, peace.